Let's talk Seint's number 12 collection. So these collections are fantastic. They are pre-made collections on our website. Not only that, they are also discounted. You will get a variety of things in this collection. You will get lip and cheek colors, which are down here, which are basically our blush colors. You get a variety of eyeshadow colors, as well as a variety of highlights, contour, bronzer, and illuminator. Get a nice palette to go with it of your choice, and 2 brushes, which is technically 4 because all of Seint's brushes are double-sided. Let's see how we use our number 12 collection. This is fantastic for beginners. Even though it looks like a lot of makeup, this is gonna be super versatile. So what we are gonna do when we first get started with Seint, one thing that's very important is our tins are small, but that does not mean they aren't mighty. So cream is very, very, very pigmented. Less is more. We always start with our skincare. If you are wearing anything under your Seint makeup, you wanna make sure it is water-based. If you tend to have more oily skin, you wanna let your skincare soak in for about 5 minutes before applying your cream makeup. I am gonna go in with the detail brush. I'm gonna go in with this flat kind of broom side here, and that's where I'm gonna lay down my contour. I like to lay my contour down first because it kind of outlines and maps where the rest of my makeup is gonna go. Using the broom side here, I'm gonna go into my contour. Our contour, even though it's cream, it is less creamy than our highlight colors. When you're starting with Seint and you're using a new brush and a new tin, you wanna make sure you are tapping. It does feel like a harder consistency, but the more you use it, and you can see as I'm tapping, it will get on there. You still always want to go into your tins by tapping. We don't wanna sweep and get any product, excess product on here, because then you're gonna be getting way too much on your face. So starting with contour, I like to go along the top of my forehead here, and you can see I'm kind of sweeping this brush and swiping it on. It's because I don't need as much coverage up here. I also really like to apply this and blend as we go. You can see also, if you put your head down, you can see where I have a natural shadow here. I'm gonna go just slightly above that. You can also, if you wanna have a small contour line, you can tip your brush at an angle and tap into it and use it at the side. We are going to find that line and we are going to tap. We are not going any further out or in than the corner of our eye. The hardest part of this is doing it on the other side. So doing the exact same thing, and don't worry if you mess up, it's totally fine. I am going to press up. I'm moving the brush really quickly on my skin, but I'm pressing it up. We want to contour and lift our face. We don't want to drag it down. So as we are going, we are pressing and blending at the same time, still using the same brush, okay? And make sure you get nice and blended up by your hair here. And look, I'm gonna take what's left on my brush and glide it along my jawline here. Don't forget to get up in this area, also up here, and then blend it down. This is optional. I always take what's left on my brush just to make sure if I'm going into any other product. So you can contour here. You can also contour along the sides of your nose, under your lip. Those things are optional. There is nothing left on this brush, okay? There's no contour. Now I'm gonna go into my main highlight shade. In this case, I'm using the level 4 number 12 collection. So it's Sandy. What I'm gonna go in, and I'm doing the exact same thing, I am tapping in. I'm gonna take this and I call this my magic eraser step. So I'm going to sweep this right under that contour line. Do you see how easy that was? One sweep, okay? And then I'm gonna do that all the way across my chin here. Remember, sweeping motions are gonna give more of a CC cream coverage, and stippling when we're doing this is gonna give more full coverage. You also, if you're getting color match or you're a customer of mine, make sure you let me know what kind of coverage you are looking for with this makeup, because brushes do matter. Okay, now that we have that on there and you can kind of blend those two together so you don't have such a harsh line, look at how beautiful. I'm gonna take the same thing. Now in any areas where you may have a little excess pigment or anywhere you have larger pores, it's really important that we are stippling. So I did grab a little bit of that color. You also wanna make sure you're going in with your main shade. If you're using too light of a shade, so if you're going in with your brightening shade where you may have texture, you will create extra texture. Light colors are not going to do anything but enhance. So making sure that we're using the correct colors in the correct places. I also am just kind of working this product along my nose, my mouth, and really making sure that it's not settling. I am stippling and pressing that product in. Look at how seamless and beautiful it looks. I also am gonna take what's left on my brush and just tap it and kind of add some to my lid. Now I'm going to take a touch more of that color and I'm going to put it in the center of my forehead. I also am going to grab a little bit of my brightening shade and add a little to the center here. You can add the brightening shade to the inner corner of your eye. Also keep in mind, we don't want to add too much if we have texture there. If we have maturing skin, we want to make sure that we are going in with our darker shades and then adding that pop of lightness anywhere we want to kind of brighten. So you can see we have pretty much laid down our entire base and contour. Now I'm gonna go over to my blush bronze brush. I'm going to grab some bronzer and I'm going to add a little bit of bronzer on this fluffy side. And this is where we're gonna kind of blend and just all the magic happens. So taking a little bit of this bronzer, bronzer is meant to warm you back up. So if you are noticing that you look a little too pale for your likings, this is where you can go in and add some bronzer. This is my absolute favorite brush for blending as well. I also always like to add a little bronzer down my neck, and this brush is fantastic for just kind of meshing everything together. Same side of this brush, I'm gonna go in to a lip and cheek color. So I'm gonna go into this pretty pink color. A little bit goes a long way. If you're using a gloss color, they are less pigmented than our satin. So you may have to layer, but they also do have a sheen to them. So it's really personal preference. You can also mix and match your colors as you see fit. Look at that. One layer of makeup, one palette, a few brushes. It is fantastic. Let me do my eyeshadow and I'll show you the finished look. There is the finished look using the number 12 pre-made collection from Seint. If you are interested in looking at what Seint has to offer or looking to get color matched, I will link my color match form below. I will also link the palette that I used today and all of the brushes.